Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 5, Episode 58. It is whatever today is, Wednesday morning, and left home. There were a few sprinkles when I left the house, and then within about 5 minutes it was some incredibly heavy rain, and then there was nothing. And then it started raining again, and now it's almost nothing again. So I don't know, some weird showers are going through right now. And I just left home a little while ago. Been on the road for a little while, just doing some cleanup on my phone and taking care of a few things. Today, like I said, obviously it's cloudy. It's raining outside. It is 68 degrees. The car says it's 71, and we're already pretty much at the high for the day today. The rest of the day we're going to be hanging right around this temperature until about 5 p.m. And then tomorrow's high is only going to be 45, so kind of crazy weather here. And I left home without a jacket, so today's Wednesday, and I'm hoping to do an overnight today, just depending on how I feel. And I'm heading in the general direction I want to head in, but I'm not 100% positive about where I'm going to go quite yet. I don't have to decide for about an hour or so. So the problem is one of the places I would go is so far away that it would be afternoon by the time I got there. And I don't know if I want to go that far without playing anything. I don't mind an hour, hour and a half or so between casinos. But when we start getting into, hours and hours, 4 or 5 hours without any kind of stopping, it gets kind of tiring. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Work-wise, I believe I have no meetings today, if I remember right from yesterday. It's going to be a pretty quiet day. Hopefully the weather helps out a little bit here. Remember yesterday I was printing out the PSA box instead of the CGC box, and I couldn't remember the acronyms. But anyway, the PSA box was done last night, and the people are like, yeah, I had to order some 30 millimeter M3 screws from China. And I'm like, okay, well, I got a hardware store right down the street, so I'll just go there. And I was on my way to the hardware store, and I thought to myself, what am I thinking? I just printed a whole box that's just missing some screws. Why can't I just print the screws? The box is made out of plastic anyway. It's not like it's that heavy. So while I was driving to the hardware store, I looked it up, and indeed you can print the screws. So I ended up printing the screws and put those in, and it works perfectly. And so I took my wife with me because we don't get to see each other very often. And I said, well, let's just continue on to the computer store, because I had placed an order the night before for some more filament for the 3D printer. And she was going to pick it up yesterday but didn't get a chance, so we drove there and picked it up. We got 7 kilos, which is 2.2 pounds, of course, 7 kilos of filament for $70, so it's a good deal. And like, for example, those screws were 2 grams, so that's like 2 cents, and the box was like 300 grams, so it's like $3. So to be able to print whatever you want, whenever you want, for a cheap price like that, and not have to shop around. You just shop around on your phone for the design that you want and print it. And that's one of the bigger prints that I've done, so that took about 8 hours. But a lot of the smaller things, like the screws, took just minutes and they were done. My kids make the little fidget things all the time, and it doesn't take long, and we're not going to the store. Just think of the convenience. Think of, okay, we're not getting to go out, right? But you're not driving your car, which uses fuel, which exposes you to possible accidents, exposes you to bad weather and risk. And being at home and printing it and doing what you want, you can even have the filament delivered to you. And in the future, this is going to get a lot more high tech, and the capabilities are going to be so much more. I know they're already using it for cakes, to put different designs on cakes. I know they're already using it to build rockets. So, I mean, imagine what the future is going to hold. You'll be able to build whatever you want. And just like with Star Trek, where they just say what they want and the thing makes it for them, you know, we're already in the early stages of things like that. But right now we're limited to the materials, and it takes a lot of time to make it. But just imagine what the future could hold. Anyway, right now I'm going to let you go. I'm going to just continue our trip here, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, as I am continuing my drive, I actually talked to a friend of mine yesterday. We were going back and forth over the last week or two about a side bet that he counts, and this is one that I was introduced to last year sometime when I was in Vegas. And we all worked as a team. One person counted and gave us the signal, and we bet. And we had some bad variance on it, but this friend of mine says that he plays it all the time, and it works out pretty well for him. And I know a couple good places where they have the side bet. So I'm thinking about doing it, but it involves a second count. So you're now keeping track of two different counts, tracking all different numbers, different cards. So now you have the regular high-low count, and then you have a second count, and then you have a second, well, I mean, I guess you don't have to divide it by number of decks, just because of the way this is designed, but, so I'm thinking about doing that. So I think in the next few days, I don't know if I have a deck of cards here or not. I can buy a deck today. I've got about 100 decks of cards I haven't opened at home, but I could buy a deck today, and while I'm driving tomorrow, because it'll be late tonight before I can get it, I can start practicing this count. So high-low plus a side count, and we'll see how it goes. And actually, it'll be interesting because I'll time myself also. First I'll try to do it just to see if I can do it, and then I'll time myself and see. And if I can do it well, if I can keep it under, let's say, a minute and 20 seconds for two decks, while I'm driving and doing two counts at the same time, I think that would be good. The game runs a little bit slower anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem for me to do it. I just need to practice, and we'll see what happens. So yeah, I'm very interested in trying it out, and I can test it out just with low. Well, you know what? I don't have to keep the bet amount low, because if it's working, it's working. Why do that? So I can still bet quarters on the side bet, maybe do 25 to 100 or something on the side bet if it's in range, and then do like 25 to 150 on the main bet, and see how that works out. So I'm interested in trying this out. I'm excited about trying it out, learning a new skill, and we'll see what happens. I'm also very excited about some hole carding in Vegas. Hopefully get another opportunity to do that there, but we'll see. So right now, still driving. I stopped for fuel. Yesterday when I was driving around with my wife, I said, you know, when I get home, I'm going to be this many miles away from running out of fuel, and when I stop at my favorite gas station, I'm going to have about 20 miles range. And indeed, it was 20 something miles left in my range when I stopped there to fill up. But now we have plenty of fuel, and we're continuing on. Still raining, ridiculous. Traffic is bad and the roads are bad, but we'll be fine. The worst of the rain is over. It was so bad before, but right now it's just a steady nagging rain more than anything else. So alright, that's what's going on. I'll be back. Alright guys, real quick, I'm back walking around here. I had like $70, and I was about to start recording, and I saw played that, lost like $12 on it. But anyway, the reason I was about to record was walking around, and I hear someone call me by my casino name, and I look behind me. It's a friend of mine, and I stopped and talked to him, and we started talking about the trip to Vegas, and then he got a call that there was a play and some people wanted partners, and to me it was not the greatest play, so we'll see what happens. But they wanted to split it 5 ways. I'm like, 5 ways? It was a $5, so we're each in it for $1 a spin. So I don't know. To me, my expected value on that is probably minus 100 to probably minus 20. It is possible that could be something really good, but I don't know. I'm going to do it because they claim that the RTP is good enough here, but I don't know if it is or not. But I gave them my 100 and I walked away. So just let me know. I don't want to be standing around with you guys when all this happens. So still just walking around looking at other stuff right now. I'll be back. All right, so it looks like they lost $53 per person. $53 per person. I told them it was not a great play. So no, we lost 47 a person. We ended up with 53 out of our 100. So minus 47 right there. And so that puts me back around even again, right? So haven't made any money, I guess. Just checking out this other stuff that people don't want to check because it's too risky, but then they're checking other stuff which is more flashy, but whatever. So all right, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back, and that was a spit show if I ever saw one. All right. Okay, let's get in here, get logged into my computer for work, internet working, all that stuff. So I'm in there. We play together. They found a play that they liked. I didn't think it was that great. We played it. We lost whatever I told you on that one. And then I'm heading over to the high limit slot area to look around. In there, I get a call. Hey, we got another play. Do you want to do it? The first one was with 5 people at $5 a spin. The second one was with 4 people at $5 a spin, or I don't know for sure. I think it was 5. We ended up making some money on that one. So overall, combined with them, I was down $19. Now, just to finish that storyline, then come back, I ended up leaving after playing blackjack and other slots and stuff like that. And then as I was waiting for the elevator, I get a call. Hey, did you leave? No, I didn't leave. Come back in here. We got another play. That play we've been waiting for at $10 a spin. And there was 4 of us at $10 a spin. And by the time I got back in and to the machine, the play was over. It only paid like $250, and we lost another $11 each. So that put me down $30 with the plays that we did together. So, okay, well, whatever, down $30 there. Other than those plays, I ended up winning on the other slots. So just adjusting my numbers here, I'm ahead overall on the slots, $87, including that loss. So, okay. Then there was a poker or a blackjack table that was close to hitting a side bet, and I'd been watching it the whole day, and I was in there for a long time, like 2 hours, which is way too long on a day like today where I have a lot of miles. But it was close to hitting. My friend said, yeah, when you go play it, I'll play it with you. I went and sat down. He didn't come with me. I played 2 hands, so I'd have more opportunity to hit it. And first hand, the hand paid me. There's a $5 bet on each. I got paid $75 on the first hand. So that alone, off the side bet, played the side bet for me for the duration, right? So I actually ended up having money left over from the side bet by the time it hit. And guess who hit it? I hit it. And the side bet ended up paying me a profit of $498. And the blackjack, which I was just min betting $25, or $20 actually, the blackjack I actually lost $245 on. Now, again, I got in the middle of a shoe. I didn't know what the count was. I min bet it the whole time. And then it ended up paying out at the beginning of the next shoe, if that gives you a hint as to what it could be. And I ended up overall ahead on the blackjack, including the bonus and losing on the blackjack. I ended up overall ahead $243. So plus 243 on the blackjack. All of it was the side bet and more. And slots, I ended up ahead $87. And it was just disgusting. It'd be someone playing a machine. And my friend's like, yeah, I see them in here every day. They'll play and play and play. And then they ran out of money. We're getting excited. We're ready to sit down. Because they're also playing it at the wrong level. So they're not even playing it at a level where they're going to win. They run out of money. They have someone sit in the seat for them while they go to the ATM. She comes back, plays that money, loses it. The lady sits in the seat for her again, leaves, gets more money again, comes back, and we ended up walking away. And then I came back around. There's a different person sitting there. And I'm like, oh, great. Okay, now I got to wait for this guy. All right. He's only got $27 in it. He runs out of money, puts in another 20, runs out of money, puts in 100, so we walk away. And that's when I did all my other stuff. I walked around, I did the blackjack and all this, and I was ready to leave, and I was out the door waiting for the elevator when he called me, and that guy finally ran through his $100, and the play that we were waiting for was still there, and we ended up playing it and losing slightly on it. Really, I mean, I think there was 4 people involved, so we lost $44 at $10 a spin. It's not bad. It actually was in a good position, but it paid badly. So anyway, yeah, that's what's going on right now. Kind of crazy morning. Had a lot of stuff from work here. When I get to my next spot, I'm gonna check all the stuff from work. So far, just from looking at it as I'm driving, it doesn't seem like a lot of stuff that I have to worry about, but just in case, we'll take the time and check through and answer any emails that we need to answer, and then we'll continue on. But right now, we're driving to the next casino, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back, and as I am walking back to the car, I see they're doing a lot of renovations here. Wow, walls everywhere that weren't here before. I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, it was an okay session, not really finding too much. Found enough, but overall ended up playing for about 40 minutes or so. Ended up ahead exactly $150, so plus 150. And we're going to take a long walk back to the car. And next stop is hours away, so we're going to do that. Hopefully something good there, because that place can be either very good or very bad. So hopefully we find some opportunity there, and get some blackjack in there as well. I haven't really played it here, excuse me, very much, just because a while ago there was a small issue, and I just don't want to mess with it. So eventually I'll get back to it, but right now just doing slots. So overall, pretty decent. Oh, that buzz was me achieving my daily goal for walking, and it's still early, so 2 o'clock. So anyway, all right, I'll be back. All right, sorry, I had to cut that segment short. As I was walking out, the guy was like 10 feet in front of me, kept turning around, staring at me. I'm like, buddy, look at the ring. Come on, man, leave me alone. These guys never stop bothering me. Anyway, yeah, overall, wasn't much, but what I did find actually worked out okay. So it was definitely worth the stop. Wasn't too far away from the other place. So plus 150, and let's go make some money. The next place is going to be potentially blackjack, potentially poker, potentially slots. So we'll go for it. You know what? I'm going to have a short stop before that one, just for about 5 minutes. It's on the way, and then we'll get to the one I was just talking about. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, listen. Can you hear this? Hold on. You hear that? That's hail. Hail no. There's hail falling on the car. It's big chunks of ice falling on this rental car. Hopefully, the pieces don't get too big and dent this thing. I don't want to have to deal with insurance on the rental car. So anyway, right now I'm about 5 miles away from my next casino. I'm just sitting at a traffic light at the exit here. So I'm gonna let you go. Hopefully, like I said, this car doesn't get damaged. We're gonna go in there. I have no coat on because it's supposed to be in the, what was the temperature when I left this morning? Like 70, right? It's 35 degrees right now. So hopefully I'm not too cold, for one, and number two, hopefully the car doesn't get damaged, and I'll be back after my next stop. Alright guys, I am back. You might say, well, MW, you said that it was hailing a little bit ago on your way to that casino, but at least it's not snowing. You know, hail can be a temporary thing, even in the summertime. Well, now it's snowing. So the temperature in the car still reads like 35 degrees, but there is snow outside. It's coming back down pretty heavily. So I don't know how long that's going to last. But at the next casino I go to, there's quite a walk to the casino from the parking lot. So this last one, not that big a deal. Pretty dead in there. There's a guy playing a machine that's going to hit soon. It's going to pay about $400. It's about $1.50 a spin, but he just put another $100 bill in, and I noticed another AP watching him, and I'm like, there's no way. First of all, there's no way this guy's getting up, because if he survived this long on this machine, then he knows. And then number two, the other guy's there. What am I going to do? I'm going to fight him for it if the guy even gets up. And it's still approximately 250 spins away. So whatever. So I let that go, and we're going to move on to another casino. We were plus 11 there, and we are just moving on. And hopefully things get better. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back, and that was okay, but not great considering the distance I drove to get here. You know, hours of driving. I was ahead like, I forget how much, like, I can pull this up here. I was ahead about 200 or so after about 30 minutes or so, and jeez. Then tried a couple other things, bigger plays, and those didn't work out. I went by the poker room, and there was a list, but everyone was call-ins, so I would have been first on the list if I said yes, put me on the list, but I didn't do that. Went back, looked at tables, looked at slots, played some more, and I noticed that on the double deck table, first of all, the double deck table pays 6 to 5. That's a loser right there. And then there's a giant red sign that says no sharing of information at the table. So it's pitch, so they don't want you to share information, so they're really scared of some kind of card counter or something like that. But the thing is, when you sit at third base and you're counting cards on a double deck, and it's pitch, most people are right-handed. Guess which hand they pick it up with? Their right hand. And they're going to pick it up, and they're going to look at it. When they look at it, they're to the left of the cards. And guess where you are? All the way to the left of the cards. So you're going to see the cards most of the time. So there are some people that pick it up weird or do whatever, but, you know, still 6 to 5. I wasn't going to play that. They only played about one deck, so it's not like it's the greatest either. So I decided to let that go. So went back to the poker room for like the second or third, probably the third time, and finally decided to put my name on the list. Now I was 7th on the list, and I hung around for a while, and I finally ended up just leaving. They called like 3 people to the table, from the table, or to the tables, but I finally just left, and I was ahead $279. So, you know, so far today we got 243.87, 150, and 211, and then 279. I hope I just said 279 a second ago. But so what are we up, like 600, 700, 800? Not much really, considering the number of miles I put on this car. So let's move on to the next place. This next one probably won't have much, but the one after it, we're going to really try to hit the blackjack tables hard. Unless it's completely packed, we're going to get some blackjack in there, and hopefully we can make whatever, 700 to 1,000 would be nice, but we'll see. So that's what's going on right now. You're all caught up, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. That was a complete disaster. Oh my gosh. I was done, man. I was done. I was leaving. I walked in this place, looking around, found a couple small plays. I'm up like $10, $15. Go around to the other side, checking all that stuff. Found a couple small plays. Lost a couple bucks. No big deal. I'm still hanging around even. Then find a longer term play. Sit down and play that. And I'm playing it, and I hit what I'm going for. And my wife calls me right as I'm hitting it. So I talked to her for a minute, pause for a second, tell her to hang on while I take a picture, and because I try to document as much as I can. Take the picture. I'm up 161, and I'm walking away, going back the same way I came in because it's cold outside. I don't want to walk around the whole building on the outside. So that cost me some money. Oh, agonizing. I see a machine. I've played it before. I know how it works. I know when the good time is to get in. And it was time to get in. What I didn't look at initially, and then I did, and I saw it before I spun the reels. It's not like I didn't know. But I probably should have thought about it a little bit longer before I went for it. Let me see if I can mute this real quick. And it was $45 a spin. So I start playing, and it is eating my money like M&Ms. 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, more and more and more and more. And I am crushed at this point. I'm in this machine for 3,300 on top of the 160 that I was already ahead. And when it finally hits and it pays me, well, I still had some credit in the machine, but it only pays me $1,275. And I am so deflated, so upset about it, just angry, everything else. I look up and it says hand pay required. I'm like, great. Hand pay I'm down a bunch. At that point I was down, I think, 1,900. Hand pay required. Guy comes over. Oh, congratulations. F you. Congratulations. Do you know how much I'm down? Get out of here. No, I didn't say that, but I wasn't very happy. Wait a minute. What did it send here? I don't know. Anyway, then he's like, so-and-so will be by to pay you in cash. Okay, no problem. She comes by. I need your ID. ID? What do you need my ID for? Do I have to pay taxes? No, you don't have to pay taxes, but I need your ID. I'm like, okay. So I give her my ID. I don't have any problem here at all. Nobody knows who I am. Takes my ID. She's gone for 15 minutes. Comes back, pays me out. At that point, I'm just pretty darn upset. And I'm going around looking at other stuff and playing, looking, and doing other stuff. And I find, let me look at these pictures that I took because it was ridiculous. I found, in fact, I think some of the pictures I didn't take them in time. Yeah, so I find a play at $7.50 a spin. Play that one through and lose $300. Great. Get another play at $30 a spin. $30 a spin. Guess what the $30 a spin play paid? I mean, think about it. What would it pay? What do you think? $1,500, $2,000, $2,500? No. It paid $60. It paid me $60. At that point, I'm down I don't know how much. Go to the picture again. I'm down. Hold on. I'm down. Let's just say I'm not doing good at that point. Let's see. Oh, it's cut off. Even better. Looks like under 1,000 tickets. So I was probably down almost $3,000 at that point. So now I'm looking and looking and looking and looking, and finally I find one I want to play. It's a small play, and I play that one through, and that one pays tremendously. It's like the ones that are supposed to pay big don't pay at all. The ones that are supposed to pay small are paying bigger, and I'm exhausted. I've been in this place for a long time, and I just want to get out of there. And after all that, I end up leaving down 1901. So, needless to say, not very happy. I think I made like 800 the whole day. Go to this place, it's supposed to be a little sidebar. I end up playing a $50 play and a $45 a spin play, and end up losing $1,900. So, now, we're moving on to the next place. We should be able to get there by just after 11 o'clock p.m., of course. I'm sure you figured that out a long time ago. And we're going to be playing blackjack, so we got to make 1,100 playing blackjack so that this whole day and this whole night, and probably most of the night, pays me zero. So that's where I am. I'm hoping to get back to even after all that. I should have never played that $45 spin play. That's not my thing, but honestly, that thing was ready to go. It should have paid quickly. It didn't. It took a lot of spins, and it was just infuriating. I don't know what to say. I know it comes and goes, but that was, to see your money go $45 a spin. It's pretty depressing to see that. You know, put $200 or $300 in, and a few spins later you're out of money. A few spins later you're out of money, and again and again and again. And the worst thing is when you have to break into a $5,000 stack that you have in your pocket. You have a nice rubber band around it, nice and clean and good and everything. Anyway, yeah, I guess it could have been a lot worse. So right now we're gonna drive over a couple hours to the next place and see if we can make some of this money back. I'm not expecting to get even tonight. I'm just expecting to do my best and go play some blackjack, maybe some slots, and hopefully things turn around. And that's all I can do. So, also, like earlier on at the other casino that I was on before this, I kind of had a little panic attack there for a minute. Not exactly. I mean, I don't have panic attacks, but I was panicked for a minute because I thought I was missing $1,000, and then I realized I had over $1,000 in $20 bills in my pocket. When I started counting them, I'm like, oh, okay. I recounted all my money, and I was only off by $3, so I knew I was okay because I probably have $2 or $3 in change in my pocket, and I estimate to the nearest dollar when I put it in my spreadsheet. So, all right. Well, let's move on to the next place. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. Still a long way away from my next spot. Still an hour and 45 minutes away. But my son just called me, and he was telling me about school and what was going on and all this stuff. And, you know, these are the times that make you feel worse because you're not there to share those times with them and stuff, and you're losing money. So it's like I'm so far away from home. If there was an emergency right now, I mean, it would be almost morning before I could get there anyway. I mean, it would be, it's so far. But very frustrating. But he was telling me about his day and what was going on and stuff, and, you know, talked a little bit about the car and, you know, the Tesla that we test drove and all that kind of stuff. So Anyway, gonna sit back and hang around here for a while, and it'll be a couple hours here, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, almost 2 hours later, we're closing in on our next spot. We're about 8 miles away. I'm ready to get out of this car. I did stop for gas, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready. I'm not tilted, I'm not upset, nothing like that, but I'm ready to go. I'm ready to make money. I'm focused. Let's get in there and make some money. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. Just leaving this place. Now, a lot of stuff happened here. It's way past midnight, way past 1 o'clock. And, yeah, I had some long sessions here. Blackjack. Started off actually in the high limit area. $100 table. From 100 to 600. And just wasn't going anywhere. Stayed in a super tight range for a couple shoes. And got a lot of attention. Actually, it was weird because this guy kept on, like, this pit boss would come over from the other pit, and I don't really recognize him, but he seems to recognize me. But he would, like, smile at me and wave to me and stuff, and I'm like, I don't even know you. I don't know who this guy is or what his deal is, but he was really happy with me, whatever was going on. And it just got to the point where I had, like, a true -4 early on, and like two decks in, and that's far enough that it's going to be bad the rest of the shoe most likely. So I got up and walked away. I was only ahead 150 on that one. Then I found a low limit table that was a new shoe. There was like 1 or 2 hands played, and I sat down at that one. And I bought in for 300 because at this place, if you buy in for 300 or less, they don't need approval to give you your chips. So they'll wait till the pit boss comes around, and then they'll tell them. Well, the pit boss didn't really care, and the other pit boss didn't care. I don't know what was going on, but a lot of moving around was happening. And so I was in for a total of 1,800. I told them I was in for a total of 2,600. They put it in the computer that way, even though they didn't know who I was. It didn't affect me at all, but it kept the heat off me because I was down the whole time. But I was down as much as 1,600 and up as much as 350 at the end of a shoe, and ended up leaving plus 350 after about 40 minutes or so on that one. Interestingly, that one, again, I was chasing a side bet, and that one didn't pay off, but this lady came by, and she was like standing behind me. I'm on third base. And then to the left of me behind me. I'm like, that's really far to go when I'm the only person on the table. Why are you standing in that one blind spot that I have? And then she came around, and then she asked me if she could play. I'm like, I don't really care. Just get out of here. I don't really care what you do. And then she had a free bet, and she had to get it approved, and it was this big ordeal. And finally, she bought in. It was like a true one, and that's when she decided to play. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Sorry about that. I have a bunch of bottles and stuff my wife gave me. I got to bring back home to get cleaned, but they're rattling around in the car here. But so she starts playing at a true one, and then I see that the bonus is about to hit, so I spread to 2 hands at minimum bet. And she decides to get out, and I hit a bunch of blackjacks that would have been her hands. But still, I'm slowly declining, -3, -6, -9, -12, -15, -16, because, there's a couple times where I had to double, bought in for 100 or whatever. And with those things, they don't really call them out, and they don't really put them in the computer, even if they're tracking you lots of times. They're not even just putting it in at all. So anyway, I had a big true count, like 7 or 8 at the end of a shoe, maybe more, maybe 9 or 10. And I went to my max bets. So I was going from 25 to 400 on this table, and got a bunch of good max bets in. And a lot of them made some okay money. But overall, I just wasn't getting over the hump. And finally, at the end of a shoe, I was up 350, and that lady was still there, and her father-in-law was there, and she was asking for his advice and playing other side bets. And so I just decided, hey, it's a good time to leave. Got up ahead $350. So between the two sessions, I was ahead $500 on the blackjack. And then I did play some slots and saw a guy that I haven't seen for a while. I've only met him once, and he recognized me and wanted to talk to me and stuff, and asked me for my phone number. I gave him my phone number. We talked for a few minutes, and I was ahead like $500 and something on slots also, so I was really happy. Getting ready to leave, I see a play at like $2 a spin. I play it through, I'm down like $50, $60 on that play. So I decide to take another lap around. I find a couple other plays. Now I'm up another, I got the 50 back plus like another 110. And I'm getting ready to leave. I find another play, and that one just went miserably. I ended up losing on that one. So I ended up losing like $160 or something like that. But overall, on blackjack, I was ahead 500. Overall, on slots, I ended up ahead 378, so that's 6, 7, 8, 78. So, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. So we're probably only down like $300. So we got a couple more stops to make. Let's move on to the next one. See if we can make a little bit. And just keep inching away here, see if we can get all this money back today. So that's what's going on right now. You're all caught up, and I'll be back to update you soon. I'm not going to turn this into, I don't know, we'll see. If there's a long story at the next two casinos, I may split it up into two different episodes, but probably not. I'll be back. All right, yeah, this episode's way too long. It's already 42 minutes before this segment. Anyway, it's after midnight anyway. Let's cut it out, and we'll move on to a new episode for the rest of the trip. We can do some segments. What did you eat today, MW? Actually, I had like a small bean salad this morning around like 11 o'clock. And then this evening I had 2 slices of pizza. There was like a meat pizza. It was not very good, actually. The bean salad was really good. I gave it like at least a 10 on a scale of 2 through ace. A little bit of oil in there. Nice salt and stuff on there. It was really good. And the pizza, the outside crust was really crispy, but the inside crust was very soggy. So you're a pizza place, you should know better. And it was expensive too. So I give the pizza about a 6 on a scale of 2 through ace. And what did you tip today, MW? Today actually I had 2 sessions of blackjack. Maybe 3, I don't remember. And a lot of slots, a lot of miles. And today I tipped a total of, actually I tipped $5 when I won that side bet. What did you learn today, MW? Well, this shift is very lax, it looks like, in these casinos that I'm going to. There was a couple times when the pit boss was like staring at me, and I started talking to him, and they were actually talking to someone else while they were looking at me. It had nothing to do with me. They were joking around and stuff. And when I said something to them, they didn't reply because they were replying to these other people. They just happened to be facing me, and they were just joking around and everything. And I was spreading big. I mean, I went 1 to 16, and nobody said a word. So. And then colored up, nobody said a word, and they even took my word for how much I was in, and said, hey, just come back, you'll come back and get it, don't worry, blah blah blah. So they really believed that I was down. So I didn't even rat hole today. I didn't need to. Now when I played my first session, I took those chips and put them in my back pocket, and then bought in for cash on my other session. Only because all I had was like $100 and $500 chips. I had 2 quarters, but other than that, it was all bigger chips, and they would have needed approval to break those. But if I bought in for 300 or less at a time, they did not need approval. So I went that route. So that's what I learned, that those are the things you can get away with there. I did see a couple people that I knew at AP that I saw a while back, but we didn't really know each other, and we talked, and he asked for my phone number. I gave him that. He doesn't know about the podcast, but who knows, he might. I've run into at least 4 people who knew about the podcast and recognized my voice and came up to me, so not totally unusual. So that's going to be it for now. We'll catch up on the next episode. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. We're going to continue on the next episode here. See you next time.